Hello, Dark Zone listeners. Brian Gatens here. Thanks for being a listener. Thanks for clicking on the episode link and capturing this mini episode of the Dark Zone. Not really an episode, more of an update with stuff we have going on. It was recorded about 10 days ago, and then we received last weekend that our good friend Shelley Johannesson had passed away while climbing. If you listen to the Dark Zone, there's no doubt that you're also familiar with what happened to Shelley and to Dave and to their Sherpas on the mountain coming down with Makalu. It didn't feel appropriate to drop this mini episode without at least spending some time acknowledging who Shelley was to the Dark Zone and to me personally. We had the chance to race with her in Faroe Islands. Jim Vernon, Dave, her partner, Shelley, and I had a chance to do that beautiful race in a great part of the world. And it was wonderful. It was a full-on, full-contact race, and Shelley and all of her wonderfulness came pouring out during that race in so many ways. There's not a whole lot more that I could say about Shelley that hasn't been said already, so I don't want to repeat what you could find in other places that is far better said than I could possibly say. All I will say is that Shelley and who she was and how she was and the kind of person she was, who, by the way, she was Dark Zone guest number 2, right? That's how I met her. She was a wonderful, wonderful person, and an inveterate supporter of adventure racing and adventure racers. Couldn't do enough for anybody. Had her own challenges across the course of her life that sometimes get brushed over when we talk about someone after they pass away. But Shelley had been through it as a person, and her challenges and her difficulties were turned into fuel for her to be the best version of herself and to help other people. And so the Dark Zone was created in many ways to celebrate what adventure racing is like, but more importantly, the people that were in adventure racing. We love the stories, and we love what adventure racing does for those who are fortunate enough to get to do it. And Shelley made all of us better at what we did. Her love, her caring, her concern resonated with so many of us, myself personally too, with some challenges I've had. She couldn't check on me enough. She made it a point to always text me and call me regularly about my recovery and how I was doing physically, and more importantly, the fact that I would get to return to racing. So when I sit here, like all of us, and we process our grief or our grieving, which are individual activities, I just want to say out loud how much I loved her and how great I thought she was and what important role she played in my life. And that as we all move forward together as a community, that we spend time reflecting on what she gave us and what she left behind for us and who she was. And the best way to remember and to honor someone I learned over the years, as we've all buried people, right? That's a side effect of living a long and lovely life, is that you will bury those that you love from time to time, is that we will best epitomize who she was by always remembering what she did for us, and then in turn doing that for other people. And so to Shelley, we know you're out there. We know you can hear us. We know you're watching us. Thank you for the gift of you. Thank you for what you did for adventure racing. Thank you for what you did for the community and for all of us. We love you and we miss you. And I'd like to hold on to the idea that someday we will all be together again. So thanks, folks. Sorry to start the show off on a note like that, but I just felt it was appropriate to say something out loud about Shelley. We'll take about a 5-second pause now, and then we'll kick into the episode that was recorded about 10 days ago. Hey, everybody. Brian Gatens here from the Dark Zone podcast. Not a typical episode today, just a quick update. Some things we have going on over here, places that we want to support, things we want you to consider getting involved in. First, Jason's Adventure Bash, June 13th, Columbia, South Carolina. So this is an important one for us as a community. Many of you have heard about Jason Schmidt and how he lost his life. He's an adventure racer. He passed away this past winter in an accident while doing the thing that he loved. Now, before Jason passed away, he spent a year designing a race course, working hand in hand with Grid Adventure Racing for an event in his hometown of Columbia, South Carolina. After he passed, his wife, Liz, wanted to make certain that the race was going to happen. And that's Jason's Adventure Bash. 2 formats for everybody. The first is the Soda City Scramble, a 5-hour urban adventure with navigation, city exploration, and river tubing, great for families and newer racers. And then the Soda City Odyssey, a 12-hour race with Class 2 whitewater, single track, urban exploration, and forest trekking This race, this bash, is built for everyone from beginner to advanced. 50% of the proceeds are going directly to a college fund for Jason's 3 children. So if you take part, you're helping support the family during their challenging time. So we encourage you to give Jason's Adventure Bash a look. The link will be in your show notes. You want a race that means something? This is it. Head to gridadventureracing.com and sign up for the bash June 13th. Hopefully you could be there. The second is Ascend Athletics Hike for Her. Now, if you're a fan of the Dark Zone and you listen for a while, you know that Hike for Her and Ascend Athletics is one of our charity sponsors. They pay nothing to be involved with the Dark Zone. We love the work that they do. Now, Ascend Athletics, we always looked at as one of the organizations that makes you remember why sport matters long beyond the finish line. The mission of Ascend is straightforward and powerful. They use athletics to empower women and girls at some of the most challenging places on earth, Afghanistan and Pakistan, giving them the skills, the confidence, and the community support to lead their own lives. They do it through climbing, through hiking, through the simple and radical act of moving through the world on their own terms. Their annual fundraiser, their big one, Hike for Her, is going global this year. It's on May 30th. You can join an organized hike near you. You can step up and organize your own wherever you are in the world. You're on the trail together on the same day. That's the point. One community, one mission. Spread the word across the globe. Go to ascendathletics.org to register. Learn what they're doing. Consider donating. Consider showing up. If you ever believe that adventure racing is about more than personal achievement, connects us to something larger, then Ascend Athletics is proof of that. So at the end of June, Team Dark Zone Podcast, myself included, we run under the NYRA banner, New York Adventure Racing Association. We're going to be racing the 5-day Endless Mountains Adventure Race. And while we're out there on the course, I'm handing the keys to this feed to everybody at Rootstock Racing. And you hear at the end of this a little bit about what's going to happen. Rootstock Racing is going to create during the race an in-race podcast, which they're going to publish during the race on the Dark Zone feed. Bit of an experiment. We want to give it a shot. Curious what they're going to do with it. I'll be out there slugging it out with the course, getting dragged around by Jim, Pete, and Shari. So I won't know what's happening. I'll be listening when I'm done, just like you. But we want to give the keys over to Rootstock Racing, give them a chance to play with podcasting as a format during a race. At the end of this mini episode here is a little bit of a preview, a little bit of a trailer, a little bit of a recap of what Endless Mountains is and who they are. Give it a listen and then pay attention come June. And keep in mind too, by the way, that for those of you who might want to give it a shot, there's a race that goes alongside the Endless Mountains. It's the Endless Mountains Light. It's the same terrain, same Vermont wilderness, same culture, just of a shorter distance, 24 hours. So a great way to get your toe into the expedition level water without being out there for so long. So stick around. The intro's coming up right after this. More details at rootstockracing.com or endlessmountainsar.com. And that's the update. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Take care of Jason's Adventure Bash. Take a look at Ascend Athletics and welcome to the Dark Zone podcast, Rootstock Racing. We look forward to hearing it in June. Thanks everybody for being a listener.
I'm Mary Chandler. I've been adventure racing almost 21 years, and I have done 3 out of 3 of the Endless Mountains Adventure Race. Every time you do an expedition race, you learn so much about yourself, your teammates. Between the mental and the physical challenge, it just throws everything at you all at once, and you walk away with a new sense of what's important in life.
I'm Brent Friedland. I'm one of the co-founders of Rootstock Racing and one of the race directors for Endless Mountains Adventure Race. We organized the first 2 editions of Endless in Pennsylvania, and the last 2, including this summer's race, are in Vermont. And I think anyone that knows about Vermont knows that it's a nonstop wilderness playground of forests and hills and mountains, waterways and lakes. And we really try to highlight all of the amazing natural features that the Green Mountain State is known for. It's a 350-mile course, and a lot of those miles are really truly in the wilderness. It is hiking up steep trails. It's bushwhacking off trails, sometimes for hours at a time. It's paddling in the middle of the night on night 3 across a lake or down a gentle river. It's mountain biking. You might be on a mountain bike for 24 hours, and then you've still got 3 days to go. And I think that can be really overwhelming and inconceivable for a lot of people to really think about.
It was me, Kristen Eddy, and Andy Bacon that did the first edition. The first one had that amazing night river canoe at the end where the fog came alive and you're paddling, you can't see anything. Your headlights just light up this mist and the mist is swirling, and we likened it to the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they opened the Ark of the Covenant and all the things swirled. That was pretty special.
I'm Abby Perkis, and I'm one of the co-race directors for the Endless Mountains Adventure Race. My favorite thing about adventure racing is getting to explore these vast spaces, getting to journey into areas that are unknown, and getting to do it with a team. It's one thing to go out in the wilderness and see what you're made of as an individual, but to me, the most resonant part of our sport is getting to have those experiences with 2 or 3 other individuals, and the intensity that comes with that shared experience, the intimacy that comes with that shared experience. Knowing that we are going to push our individual limits, and by doing that, push our collective limits and find ourselves a little bit new on the other side of that.
I think I've done like 15 expedition races with Roy Malone on Bones, and that's a lot of hours together with the same person.
I'm Roy Malone, and I'm the captain of Team Bones, and we've been racing around the world since 2001, so that's, 25 years now. The expedition race is just full immersion. With a 5-day, you've got to compartmentalize into smaller chunks in order to get your brain and your body around the scope and size of what you're trying to accomplish. There's no place to hide when you're out there for that long. It's just a raw, primal experience where you're out there suffering, but also enjoying the experience. And the dichotomy of those two things happening at the same time is just, you can't get anywhere else.
These races, they break you down. They strip you bare. They really require you to confront yourself, right? And your fears and your emotions. And you're also on full display, right? You're on display with your teammates as you travel through these different stages of kind of emotional life and wrestle with these kind of existential questions. And I think that can be one of the biggest challenges and hardships of this event, but it can also really be one of the most amazing things about the journey. I think that realization of what you can accomplish and what you wrestle with yourself is really what makes this so special.
One of the races that really stood out to me was the Costa Rica World Championships. Early in that race, the first night, I'd crashed my mountain bike and I fractured 3 ribs. And this was the first night of what ended up being a 7.5-day race. So throughout the rest of that race, the pain was constantly with me. And I remember climbing up this mountain, and Mary Chandler didn't say a thing. I'm suffering. I'm in the back of our group, and she didn't say a thing. She came back, she grabbed my backpack without a word, and just took off. And that nonverbal love, if you will, to get your team towards the next control was just, I got pretty emotional. I was in so much pain for so long, and to have somebody come up and just without a question, just grab my back. That kindness is something that in the middle of the depths of your pain and suffering was life-changing for me. I've spent some of my darkest moments with Mary and some of my best highlights with Mary.
The group that I race with are awesome. We're really good friends, and we have been able to communicate in a way that some people may find rough or direct. That's love language within our group. You're in the woods for 5 days with somebody. You want to make sure they're in a good space as much as possible, which sounds like hippie and lovey-dovey, but it's real. At some point in time, everybody's down. But what can we do to get them back up? In the climbing portion, facing that wall, I couldn't do it. I stood there and cried, thinking, I can do this. I have the skill to do it. And my team came and supported. And then I completed the climb. And standing at the top and looking out, and my team and other teams were cheering for me and clapping. That was a huge moment in the race. That was a huge moment in my life. It's amazing the connection that you can build by being lost in the same place with somebody.
By design, these events are made to remap you. They are not only mapping a journey for you, but they are designed to take you through an experience where the only way from point A to point B is to get through it. And that's a physical experience, but it's also an emotional one. It's also a psychological one. It's also a community one. And you get to have that experience of being wrung out together. And that's almost its own discipline in the sport. That's something that it took me the better part of 20 years to realize, is that the very nature of expedition racing is designed to remap you. One of the things we take incredibly seriously in our job and our role as race directors is creating a community of care. A community of care for the racers, for the support staff, for the folks that kind of come into the journey along the way. All of those folks come together over the course of the week of the race to really create a contained world, a contained insular community.
The race organization is one of the most caring race organizations that I've ever dealt with. They're humans working with humans. Really makes it feel like I'm not racing with an organization, I'm racing with Abby and Brett, and I love that about it. It's an amazing race.
The next edition of the Endless Mountains Adventure Race kicks off on June 22nd, 2026. See you there.